ju är det för det vardags ita be a kob vem in edom dormo är det hette Hoeveel of niet en ik liep een zoom voor een wat de prif of heel zo moest ook but moves of down say and tour ook film rough.
As the countdown to draft night ticks away, the rumors are swirling faster than ever, and one name keeps popping up in unexpected places: Jackson Dart. Yes, the Ole Miss quarterback who's been flying just under the radar could suddenly become the centerpiece of a bold and potentially franchise-altering decision. The Browns currently hold the number 2 overall pick, a spot that commands national attention and immense pressure. With that kind of draft capital, most teams would be expected to target a marquee quarterback. But all signs suggest Cleveland is heading in a different direction. The whispers inside league circles are getting louder, pointing toward the team, using that coveted pick to build in the trenches or stack elite talent elsewhere. But that doesn't mean they're abandoning the idea of finding their next signal caller. Far from it. Here's where things get wild. Reports are emerging that Cleveland is eyeing a dramatic return to the back end of the first round. Not just to take any quarterback, but to specifically grab Jackson Dart before someone else does, possibly leapfrogging the New York Giants in the process. The idea? Strike at just the right moment, execute a carefully calculated trade, and walk away with a potential future starter without having to spend their highest pick on him. In a scenario that's gaining traction, NFL draft analyst Ian Cummings of Pro Football Network put forward a prediction that's turning heads. The Browns would strike a deal with the Buffalo Bills, sending away the 33rd and 94th overall picks this year, along with a second rounder in 2026. In return, the 30th pick in the 2025 draft and a 5th rounder in 2026. A steep price, perhaps, but if Jackson Dart really is that guy, it might just be worth every bit of it. Why Dart? That's the question everyone's asking, and the answer might lie in his fit with Kevin Stefanski's offensive system. Dart isn't the flashiest name in this draft class, but he's built a quiet reputation as a tough competitor with sneaky athleticism and a growing sense of field awareness. His ability to read intermediate routes combined with his natural arm talent and poise under pressure makes him an intriguing developmental prospect, especially in a system that values timing and structure as much as Stefanski's does. What's particularly fascinating about Dart is the timing of his rise. He's not being hyped up like the top-tier prospects, but evaluators have started to take a closer look at what he offers. The flashes on tape are there. Moments where he drops in accurate passes between layers of coverage or scrambles with purpose to extend plays without going off script. He may not be a finished product yet, but that might be exactly what Cleveland is banking on. A raw but promising quarterback prospect who doesn't have to start immediately but could grow into the role with the right coaching and structure. If the Browns pull the trigger on this trade, they'll be betting on potential rather than polish. And in many ways, that would be a fitting move for a franchise still trying to cement its long-term identity. With Deshaun Watson's situation still murky and questions about his future lingering, finding a young quarterback to mold makes a lot of sense, especially one who doesn't require a top 5 pick investment. But it's not just about Dart. It's about the message this move would send. Trading back into the first round shows aggressiveness, vision, and most importantly, a willingness to take risks in pursuit of long-term stability at the most important position in football. That's the kind of boldness fans have been waiting to see. And if Cleveland truly believes they found a diamond in the rough, it would be irresponsible not to make a move. The potential trade also highlights a shifting strategy by the Bills, who would be giving up their late first-round selection in exchange for more bites at the apple, plus a valuable future pick. It's a classic case of one team gambling on upside while the other accumulates assets. Buffalo, with Josh Allen entrenched as their star quarterback, might view this as an opportunity to reload and diversify their roster depth. Meanwhile, Cleveland could be betting that they're just one big swing away from finding their guy. Of course, all of this remains hypothetical for now, but the buzz is real. The conversations are happening behind the scenes, and when the draft finally arrives, anything can happen. What if the Browns make this move and land a quarterback who turns out to be the future face of the franchise? What if Jackson Dart is more than just a mid-round sleeper and Cleveland's front office saw something the rest of the league missed? That's the beauty of the draft. It's not just about who goes first, but who ends up proving everyone wrong. One thing's for sure, if Cleveland makes this move, it won't go unnoticed. The headlines will follow. The analysis will pour in. Every pass Dart throws, every mistake he makes, every highlight he creates, it'll all be dissected with the weight of a bold trade behind it. And for the Browns, that's a story worth watching unfold. So as the draft approaches, keep an eye on the bottom of the first round. The Browns might not be done making headlines just yet. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. It was the kind of news that no one expected, but everyone is now talking about. Travis Kelce, the iconic tight end and future Hall of Famer who built a legendary career with the Kansas City Chiefs, has been announced as the newest member of the Cleveland Browns. That's right, the Cleveland Browns. It sounds surreal, almost like a video game trade or a wild off-season rumor that got out of hand. But this time, it's not fantasy. It's real. And it's already sending shockwaves all through the NFL landscape and igniting a firestorm of excitement among Browns fans. The announcement came in dramatic fashion, as it often does in today's NFL. A cryptic post from the Browns' official account hinted at a massive arrival, followed by a cinematic video revealing Kelce in a Browns jersey, flashing that familiar grin. The reaction? Pandemonium. Social. Media exploded. Local fans took to the streets in celebration. And within hours, Shuren Kelce to Cleveland was trending nationwide. For a franchise that has long been defined by heartbreak, inconsistency, and what-ifs, this felt like a seismic shift. A moment where hope and belief came crashing in with undeniable force. Kelce's arrival is not just about star power. This is a move that signals ambition, hunger, and a clear message from the Browns front office. They're not here to play it safe anymore. For years, Cleveland has hovered between rebuilds and brief glimpses of potential, often falling short when it mattered most. But with a player like Kelce, one of the most dominant tight ends in NFL history, the narrative changes. He brings with him a championship pedigree, elite production, and a level of leadership that can transform a locker room. It's hard to overstate what Kelce represents. We're talking about a player with multiple Pro Bowl selections, All-Pro honors, and 3 Super Bowl rings on his resume. His chemistry with Patrick Mahomes was the stuff of legend, a connection that redefined how we view the tight end position in the modern era. And now he steps into a Browns offense that's been crying out for a reliable, game-changing weapon in the middle of the field. This isn't just a boost to the passing game. It's a strategic masterstroke that could elevate the entire offensive unit. Of course, questions will arise. Kelce is 35, and many will wonder if he can maintain his elite level of play away from Mahomes and the Andy Reid system. But let's not forget who we're talking about here. Kelce hasn't just survived in the league, he's dominated it. His football IQ, route running precision, and toughness have always set him apart. Even in the twilight of his career, his skill set remains lethal. And perhaps just as importantly, his motivation is sky high. This is a homecoming of sorts. Kelce is a native of Ohio, playing in front of family, representing his home state, and helping bring success to a franchise that's longed for it. You better believe that matters to him. The Browns offense now becomes a different animal. With Deshaun Watson expected to return healthy and fully settled into the system, having a reliable security blanket like Kelce over the middle could be a game changer. It opens up space for receivers on the outside, helps the run game by pulling defenders out of the box, and adds a red zone presence that Cleveland has sorely lacked. For head coach Kevin Stefanski, this might be the most versatile weapon he's had since taking over in Cleveland, and he knows exactly how to use him. Then there's the intangible impact, the kind you can't measure on a stat sheet. Travis Kelce brings energy, swagger, and a championship mindset. He's a culture changer, plain and simple. Young players will gravitate toward him, not just because of who he is on the field, but because of what he represents. He's a winner. He's been to the mountaintop, and now he's bringing that experience to a franchise desperate to climb. The Browns locker room is already buzzing, according to sources close to the team. Players are reaching out, expressing their excitement and welcoming Kelce with open arms. It's not just about what he can do. It's about the belief his presence instills. When you sign a player like Kelce, you're telling your team that the window is open, that it's time to contend. And make no mistake, this team has the pieces. A strong defense anchored by Myles Garrett, a retooled offensive line, and now one of the greatest tight ends the league has ever seen. Fans in Cleveland who have suffered through decades of mediocrity and missed opportunities finally have a reason to believe that something special might be brewing. You could feel it in the air the moment the announcement was made. The kind of electric optimism that's been all too rare in Northeast Ohio. The city, already passionate and fiercely loyal to its football team, now feels like it's on the cusp of something big. For Kelce, this is more than just another chapter. This is legacy. What happens next? Well, that's the fun part. Training camp will be must-watch. Every practice rep, every preseason drive, all eyes will be on Kelce and how he integrates into Stefanski's system. And while expectations will undoubtedly be high, that's exactly how Kelce likes it. He's never shied away from the spotlight. He embraces the pressure. And now, in the twilight of his career, he has a chance to do something truly historic. Bring a Super Bowl to Cleveland. For a player who's already accomplished so much, this might be his greatest challenge yet. But it could also be his most meaningful triumph. Because this isn't just about winning more games or padding stats. This is about changing a narrative, lifting up a franchise, and giving a city the hero it's been waiting for. Travis Kelce is a Cleveland Brown. And suddenly the entire NFL is paying attention. From the outside, it may seem like a shocking twist, but for those who understand the game, who know what Kelce brings to the table and what the Browns have quietly been building, it feels like the stars are aligning. Football in Cleveland just got a lot more interesting. And if you're a Browns fan, you're not just excited. You're dreaming big. Because with Travis Kelce in town, anything feels possible. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!